Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I am Cyrus, and this is going to be the conclusion of this little mini series that I've been doing for the best NES shoot 'em ups. By no stretch of the imagination does that mean that this is all the best shoot 'em ups on the NES. There's a ton of other really great ones. I didn't even get into the 1940 games, the 1942, 44, all those different games. There's so many other shooters I could have talked about and could have included in this series, and it's time to move on to other stuff. It's time to talk about other consoles and other games and other things. So I will jump around and do different kinds of mini series on the channel from time to time. And this is going to wrap this up, but like I said, don't think that this is the last time that I'm going to talk about shoot 'em ups on the NES. And don't think that I've decided that this little group that I have covered is the only ones that are worth playing. That is definitely not what I'm saying. So I'm going to finish off this series with a classic shooter that is my personal favorite version of Gyruss. Gyruss for the NES. I have this game on my Atari 5200. I have this game. There's like a retro reimagined version of this on the Xbox, which I think is really cool. Gyruss probably deserves its own series just for this, but that's because I just personally like it. And of course, my name's Cyrus, so of course I have to finish this series off with Gyruss. If you're not familiar with, and it's not pronounced Gyruss. I don't know why anybody would pronounce it Gyruss. It's a gyroscope. Gyruss. It's a play on words. So it's Gyruss. But you know how it is in the gaming community. People like to pronounce things different ways. And if you insist on calling its name Gyruss for some reason, okay, whatever. I'm not going to debate you about it, but you're wrong. But I'm not going to debate you about it. But let's play a little bit of Gyruss. There are a couple different control methods you can use. I prefer control method B. That's totally up to you. And this affects the way your D-pad operates your spaceship on the screen. Control method B makes it a little bit more like Tempest. So that's what I'm going to go with. And you might want to use turbo for this game. That's totally up to you. But I tend to enjoy it a little bit better with turbo enabled. Oops, wrong button right off the bat. Okay. All right. Ooh, ran right into that. Okay. Gotta pay attention to what I'm doing. I just think that this version has really good graphics and music, and it's really easy to control what you're doing. It's just a really cool version of Gyruss. They added some extra things to this version that are not in some of the other versions, even the arcade version. So I think it's pretty cool. In fact, you might actually say that this version of Gyruss is the first retro reimagined version of Gyruss. This is a game that I used to rent from a local video store in my hometown, and they started selling off their NES games towards the end of the life of the NES. Actually, it was pretty much past the end of the life of the NES, but they held on to them for a while. But they finally decided to start selling NES games, and I told them, I was like, hey, if y'all ever sell Gyruss, I want that game. Please sell me that game. Because I couldn't find this game. I tried to get it from like some of those used places you buy games from in the back of magazines and stuff. We didn't have like retro game stores and things like you do now. So it was like there was a few places around the country that would sell stuff like that, but you pretty much had to like find a mail order place or something like that. Unless you just got lucky and found NES games at a garage sale or at some random store or whatever, you know, or a video store that was selling their old games like that. So yeah, they finally got around to selling their NES games, and I snatched this up, and I thoroughly have enjoyed playing Gyruss over the years, and this is, like I said, my favorite version of the game. I just think it's the most fun, the easiest to play, and just it's just the best version to me. This is a game that was released under the Ultra label, which of course means it was a Konami game. Once again, Konami with the shoot 'em ups, you know. It's too bad Konami doesn't do things the way they used to, because once upon a time they were one of the best, if not the best, game publishers. They were right there with all of the best ones. Hudson Soft and Capcom and Nintendo and Sega. Konami was right there. And Gyruss definitely does share a lot in common with Tempest, especially if you set the controls to this method. Because the other method, like halfway up the screen, your controls flip on you. It's very confusing. I don't know why it's set up like that. But this control scheme definitely is my favorite. Ah, crap. Ah. Crap. Well, that's Gyruss, one of my favorite shoot 'em ups, just a really cool game. It's not the most graphically impressive shooter on this console. It's not the most graphically impressive or has the best music or the best gameplay necessarily even. It's just a game that I really enjoy. So I wanted to make sure I included it in this mini-series. So hopefully you have enjoyed some of this. I definitely appreciate your thoughts and feedback, your comments. If there was a game that you wanted me to cover in this for some reason, or something I missed, you know, please let me know, because, you know, I'm going to keep making videos, and I might come back to this series and add some extra stuff to it if anybody has anything they really want to see. So let me know. I really appreciate your support on the channel. Definitely thank you for, you know, just being here and for participating and hanging out with me. So yeah, let's share some more awesome memories of some of the best video games ever made. The old school retro games that I know that I love, and I hope you do too. I will talk to you again soon with more videos, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.